Welcome back to today's episode of the Human Resource Report, where we explore what makes some teams tick and others, well, just not. I'm Megan, and joining me today are Marlon, Delina, and Amelia. Today, we're going to be talking about organizational behavior and how it shapes employee experiences in a company.
Thanks for having us today. To kick things off, I like to say organizational behavior essentially is a study on how people interact within groups in a workplace. So it covers everything from communication and leadership to motivation and team dynamics. So for HR, it guides on how we design training, resolve conflicts, and create policies that help employees to thrive.
Paying attention to OB helps companies work more efficiently. For example, Zappos lets employees make decisions, which builds responsibility and leadership. An example of OB in action.
Workplace behavior isn't just about individuals. It's also about how people interact, how leadership image, and how companies' cultures affect performance. People often change behavior when they know they're being watched. For example, here at campus, we know that in the exam room, we can't interact with each other because Ma'am Portia and Mixley is there to watch us. We know that we're supposed to do our work, finish our work, and then give the paper.
Yes, exactly. As Amelia referenced, the famous Hawthorne study done by Elton Mayo shows us that people change their behaviors simply because they know they're being observed. Another example of this can be an employee working harder or more efficiently when they're being observed for research purposes. And when that employee is done being observed, their efficiency goes back to baseline, according to Pelago. Right, so moving on from understanding behavior to motivation. What drives people to perform their best? That's where motivation theories comes in. Marlon, can you explain Maslow's hierarchy of needs for the listeners?
Sure, the Maslow's hierarchy describes the 5 tiers of human needs, the psychological needs, safety, love, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. The idea that people focus on meeting the most basic needs first before moving up the hierarchy.
In a workplace, this means that leaders should ensure employees' basic needs, like fair pay and job security, are met before expecting higher level motivation, like innovation or leadership, according to Atlassian. For example, Mark's basic needs like job security and fair pay are met, so he starts focusing on recognition. When his manager praises his work, he feels valued and motivated to contribute more creatively. Okay, so now we're moving on from Maslow's hierarchy of needs to Hertzberg's two-factor theory.
Hertzberg's two-factor theory says job satisfaction comes from motivators like recognition, achievements, and growth. Things like pay, companies' rules, and working conditions don't create happiness, but are necessary to avoid dissatisfaction.
Exactly. Hertzberg's two-factor theory consists of motivators, such as Delina mentioned, and also hygiene factors, which ensure that there isn't any dissatisfaction. These hygiene factors include policies, pay, and working conditions, according to a study done by Michael Galanagas. Now moving on to McClellan's theory, also known as the theory of acquired needs.
McClellan's theory says that people are motivated by achievement, power, or relationship. For example, some people feel better when they have powers in the organization. They feel better because they are the manager. They feel better because they know that the company can't work without them. Other people feel better when they achieve something, when they know they were supposed to do something and they actually did something to gain trust and everything. And other people feel better to have a good relationship with the colleagues, with the people around them.
So together, the three classical theories gives us a well-rounded understanding of what drives employees and how motivation influences job satisfaction and behavior. While classical theories explains what drives employees in a broad sense, contemporary theories show how motivation plays out in today's working environment according to the National Institute of Health. Some of these contemporary theories include self-determination theory, where employees motivate themselves to do their work. It emphasizes the importance of autonomy, competence, and relatedness in driving engagement and satisfaction in the workplace. Regulatory focus theory shows us that employees tackle work in two ways. Promotional focus drives them to reach ambitious goals, while preventative focus keeps them focused on avoiding errors and meeting responsibilities. An example of promotional focus is reaching ambitious sales targets, while prevention focus ensures no mistakes on compliance tasks. And the job engagement theory explains that employees are motivated to do their jobs through vigor, dedication, and absorption, according to teambuilding.com. An engaged employee might go the extra mile on a project because they feel absorbed and committed to the work.
Exactly. And beyond motivation and perception plays a huge role.
Perception is the process of becoming aware of objects and relationships, which includes activities such as recognizing and observing. According to the American Psychological Association, observation enables people to interpret their surroundings and extract meaningful knowledge from it.
Employees' past experiences shape on how they interpret situations in which it affects decision making. For instance, biases like selective perception, stereotyping, the halo effect, projection can all influence working environments' outcomes.
As Marlon mentioned, stereotypes causes us to make inaccurate judgments about people based on group characteristics, while the halo effect leads one positive trait to influence our overall judgment of a person. According to the University of Berkeley, the Horns effect is the opposite of the halo effect, in the way that we let one negative trait influence our whole perception of a person. According to Crystal Rapol from Healthline, Delina, how can these perceptions be negative in the workplace?
People often see only what supports their beliefs. Stereotypes and the halo effect can lead to unfair, exaggerated judgments, and projections can make us assume others think like we do.
Training, awareness, and matching the right people leads to a workplace that are more supportive, inclusive, and focused on the growth.
Exactly, and that's how perception can influence decision-making and judgment within a workplace. Perception also plays a big role in assessing fit. If an employer misjudges the fit of an employee in the workplace, it can lead to disengagement because of poor placement. Person-job fit is about matching skills and abilities to a role, while person-organization fit is about matching values and beliefs to the company. When both align, we see higher job satisfaction, better retention, and more organizational citizenship behavior.
Exactly. So if someone who is talented but is in a role where it doesn't match their abilities, they are more likely to feel frustrated and disengaged. But when an employee skills and values align with the role and the company culture, they are more likely to contribute positively and stay longer and even help to improve the overall company culture, in which is good for both parties, the employee and the organization in general.
Companies can check for the right fit through skill tests, cultural evaluation, and open talks about values. This helps employees understand the workplace and thrive in it.
Plus, reducing mismatch between employees and roles decreases stress. High stress often comes from poor fit of employees in the organization, and it can't always be corrected even by the strongest motivators. For example, if an employee is highly collaborative but is placed in an independent role, they can often feel frustrated even if they receive bonuses and recognition. Whereas employees who feel more confident and supported are more resilient and satisfied. So to wrap up, organizational behavior is a combination of understanding people's actions, motivators, perceptions, and fit within the company. Companies that prioritize these elements see more productive and happy employees, and a lower turnover and better overall performance.
So at the end of the day, organizational behavior is all about creating environments where both the employees and the company succeed together, and in which that will result to both employee and the company go very far as a whole.
Everyone is motivated differently, sees things in their own way, and adds unique value to the team.
Personally, I think that organizational behavior reminds us that workplaces aren't just about rules. They're about people aligning motivation and perceptions, and that fit benefits everyone. And by applying these insights, companies can build not only efficient operations, but workplaces that are inclusive, supportive, and growth-oriented. Thanks so much, Marlon, Delina, and Amelia, for your insights today. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on the HR Report. And remember, organizational behavior isn't just for managers. It's for anyone who wants to thrive in their working environment. We'll see you next time.